Kondosan.
Once upon a time, there lived a rich merchant. He was so rich that he didn't even know how much money he had. This merchant had 3 daughters. 2 of them were selfish, lazy, and unkind, but the third one was incredibly polite, generous, and loving. With her flowing brown hair and big green eyes, she was both beautiful and of good character, so her father simply called her Beauty. Beauty never wanted to upset her father. Her sisters, on the other hand, only thought of money, dresses, and jewels. This is why their father loved Beauty the most. One evening, Beauty dreamed of a tall, handsome, dark-haired prince. In her dream, she was wearing a marvelous dress while dancing with the prince. At the end of their dance, the prince gifted her a rose. When she woke up, she was still smiling and dancing with the effect of her dream. Her sisters watched in shock, filled with jealousy. Days went by, and one day, Beauty's father received terrible news. A powerful storm had destroyed all of the merchant's ships. They had all sunk and he had lost all his wealth.
We've lost everything, girls. The only thing we have left is this house. I'm very sorry.
Don't be sad, Father. Nothing really matters as long as we're all together. I'm going to pray every day for you to smile again and for your luck to turn. I hope that sometime soon we will be rich again.
Not long after, they received good news that one of their ships hadn't sunk. Upon hearing this news, their father, with joy, headed to the port.
We're probably safe now. We're rich again. After I sell all the merchandise, what would you like me to bring you?
Beautiful dresses and shoes.
Precious jewels. My dear father, just come back to us safe and sound. I don't want anything. But if you can bring me a red rose, I'll be very happy.
The merchant bid his girls farewell and went to the port. But when he arrived, he couldn't believe his eyes. The ship was destroyed and all the merchandise had fallen into the sea and was lost. So, nothing had changed. They were still poor. Sadly, on his way back home, without realizing, he entered the forest. For some time he tried to find the road, but at this point, he and his horse were both very tired. Suddenly, he spotted a light in the distance. It was getting dark, so he hurried and headed towards the light. A magnificent palace appeared before him. It was a palace with lights all around it and a huge garden. The palace had a mysterious feel. When the merchant arrived at the garden gates, they opened spontaneously. Going through a path with lots of trees, he reached the door of the palace, which also opened spontaneously. Though the merchant didn't understand what was going on, he went inside.
Good evening. Is anyone here?
He walked past the huge living room and other rooms, asking if anyone was home. He suddenly found himself before a table full of different types of food, desserts, and fruits. Since he was very hungry, he sat down and ate until he was full. Wandering in awe around the alluring rooms of the palace, he looked for a place to sleep. He found a beautiful bedroom on the top floor.
Well, there's nothing to do now. When the owners of the palace arrive, I'll thank them for everything.
He lay down on the bed and fell asleep. The next day, when he went downstairs, this time, he saw that a beautiful large breakfast table had been set for him.
I think that luck has found me again. There's even fresh juice. But I have to go now. Even if I didn't get to meet you, thank you very much. Goodbye.
He went out to the garden, and just as he approached the gates, he saw a beautiful red rose.
I'll take this rose for my daughter as a souvenir. Beauty will love it.
He picked the rose. At the same time, he heard a noise behind him. When he turned around, there was a monster. It was a scary monster, black hairy hands, huge mouth and eyes, and sharp teeth.
I did everything to make you stay comfortable. Aren't you ashamed of picking the flower without permission?
I'm sorry, sir. My intentions weren't bad. I have 3 girls. One of them asked me to bring back a rose for her. I picked it for my daughter. Please forgive me.
So you have 3 daughters then?
Yes, sir.
Well, I will only forgive you on one condition. One of your daughters must come and stay with me willingly. If no one comes, I will punish you very badly. Here, I'm giving you my fastest horse. I expect both of you within a week. If not, you will pay the price for your insolence.
The merchant, wanting so desperately to stay alive, climbed on the horse and went straight home. He explained to his daughters everything that had happened.
Which one of you will come with me there?
I can't live with the monster. Beauty's the one to be blamed. She should go.
Yes, it's her fault that Dad encountered this monster. She should go.
Okay, Father, don't be upset. I will go willingly, and I will save you.
My beautiful girl. You're going because of me. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sad, Father. Everything will be fine.
When they arrived at the palace, everything was the same as before. A fire was burning in the fireplace, the table was full of food, and bright lights were lit everywhere. Since they were both hungry from the long journey, they sat at the table and had dinner. Not long after that, the monster headed downstairs.
Good evening, and welcome. My name is Beast. Will you stay here with me?
Yes, sir. I wanted that rose. It's not my father's fault. He only wanted to bring me a gift.
Then your father will leave tomorrow, and you will stay here and be my friend.
The next day, Beauty's father left.
I'll miss you very much. Forgive me, my dear.
I'll miss you too. Please don't worry. Just take care of yourself.
Waving, she bid her father farewell from the garden gates. Days went by, but she was incredibly sad. She cried every day. One night as she was crying, "What will I do with the beast? How will I get used to this?" he appeared before her.
Good evening. How are you? Is your room comfortable? Do you need anything? Your wish is my command. But you coming here at your own will has made me incredibly happy. If only you liked me a little. Is it because I'm ugly?
Beauty always told him the truth.
I don't like you, but I've gotten used to you.
Just wait and see. One day I'll make you like me. You won't see the ugliness of my face, but you'll see the kindness of my heart. That's what's important.
They were actually becoming quite good friends. They played piano together and sang songs. They wandered around the garden and fed the birds. Beauty realized that Beast wasn't as ugly as she thought he was. In fact, she had started to like him. One night, she dreamed of her father and saw he had become really ill. The next morning,
Good morning. Last night I saw my father in my dream. He was very ill. Please let me go and visit my father for a week. I've missed him so much. Will you let me?
Okay then. Exactly 1 week. If you go over 1 week and not come back, I will die here. Don't forget that.
I promise. I'll see him and come right back.
Then, let's put this magical heart-shaped medallion on your neck. If you make a wish while holding it tightly, it will come true.
they parted in this way.
I want to go to my father.
She arrived at her father's house. Her father was so pleased to see her that he started feeling better almost immediately.
I missed you so much, Beauty.
I miss you too, Father.
Her sisters didn't understand what just happened and how she just suddenly arrived. They were still jealous of Beauty. Beauty told her father everything. That she was now happy and that he shouldn't be sad anymore. She stayed a week at her father's house without realizing how time passed by. One day, she saw Beast in her dream lying on the floor. Thinking that he had died, she became incredibly frightened. It dawned on her that she was late by one day. She felt guilty because she hadn't kept her promise.
He told me that if I stayed over a week that he would die. What selfishness this is! If something happened to him because of me, I will never be able to forgive myself.
She immediately bid her father and sisters farewell, took the medallion in her hand, holding it tightly, kissed it and made her wish. She found herself in Beast's palace. Beast was on the floor with his eyes closed. Helpless, Beauty had no idea what to do.
I shouldn't have left you alone. Please forgive me.
Beauty, thinking that she had lost Beast, kept on crying. Suddenly, Beast opened his eyes.
I finally realized how much I love you.
Can you really love someone as ugly as me?
Of course. I will never part with you again.
Then will you marry me?
Yes, yes.
Suddenly, with a blinding light, Beast's face started to change. A handsome prince took his place. He was tall with thick dark hair.
Oh, you're the prince that I was dancing with in my dream.
Yes. An evil witch turned me into the beast. The only way for the spell to be broken was if a girl accepted my hand in marriage despite my ugliness. Thank you for saving me, Beauty.
Not long after that, the prince and Beauty got married. They brought her merchant father and her sisters to the palace as well. They lived happily ever after. This was a victory of inner beauty. Once upon a time, in a very beautiful country, there lived a kind king and queen that everyone loved. Their only wish was to have a daughter. One day, their wish came true, and their daughter came into the world. They organized a feast to celebrate the event. All the kings and queens of other kingdoms, all the townspeople, and the 12 fairies of the country were invited. As part of the celebration, everyone presented their gift to the newborn princess. When it was the fairies' turn, each of them made a wish using their magical wands. There were exactly 12 fairies.
May life bring you everlasting happiness.
Let your beauty be spoken of all across the lands.
Let this princess be a very clever girl.
Let her always be generous to our people.
Suddenly, the entire hall started to shake. As everyone watched in awe, there was a high-pitched sound. The wicked fairy was the 13th fairy. They especially hadn't invited her to the party. Furious, the wicked fairy approached the crib and pushed aside the 12th good fairy that still hadn't made her wish.
So, I'm the only one that wasn't invited, I see. Well, even if I wasn't invited, I also have a wonderful gift for the princess. On her 16th birthday, the princess will prick her finger on a needle and die.
Staring at the wicked fairy, the king and queen begged the good fairy to do something. Please, do whatever it takes to break this curse, good fairy.
Unfortunately, my queen, I cannot remove the curse that the wicked fairy has cast, but I can at least lighten it. When the princess pricks her finger with the needle, she won't die. She will sleep for 100 years. She will only be awakened with the kiss of a prince. That's all I can do.
The king immediately prohibited the use of needles and had them removed from his kingdom. He ordered his guards to watch over the princess until she grew up. The good fairy's wishes had come true. The princess turned out to be a beautiful, well-mannered young girl. In the palace, she could only wander around the garden with the fairies. Her father always watched over her. On the day of her 16th birthday, the princess was locked up in a room to stop the curse from happening. Everyone was very anxious. If nothing happened until sunset, the curse would be lifted. The princess was bored and wanted to open the window to catch some fresh air. Outside, the weather was beautiful. As she opened the window, she saw a raven with a little box in its beak. The bird placed the box on the windowsill and flew away. It was such a beautifully decorated box that the princess couldn't resist her curiosity. She opened the box and saw a glowing diamond ring. She thought it was a birthday gift from the fairies, so she put it on her finger. But a little needle was hidden underneath the diamond. So, when the needle pricked her, the princess fell into her 100-year slumber. The bird that had brought the box to the princess was the raven of the wicked fairy. When they couldn't hear any sound from the princess's room for some time, the king became anxious and went to check on her.
My girl, you haven't said anything. Open the doors so I can see you. Be patient. There's only 2 hours left until sundown and the curse will be broken.
The king couldn't get a reply, so he unlocked the door and entered the room. To his surprise, he found his daughter lying on the floor.
My queen! Guards! Run! My princess has fallen asleep! It's a disaster! A disaster!
When they saw the ring on the princess's finger, the upset king and queen immediately realized what had happened. The wicked fairy had tricked the princess into pricking her own finger, fulfilling the curse.
Good fairy, do something, please. Either awake her or let us all sleep and awake with her. We can start our lives again when she wakes up in 100 years. How can we live without her?
To cast this spell, we have only till sunset. We have little time, but I'll do it. First, let's get the princess into a beautiful bed.
They immediately carried her to her room. They laid her in a bed covered with flowers in her most beautiful gown. The king and queen sat in their thrones. The servants waited where they stood. The birds, cats, and dogs. Everyone was ready. And the good fairy cast her most powerful spell yet.
Let everyone in the palace fall asleep along with the princess and awake with her.
With a wave of her hand, everyone in the palace fell asleep. The palace was to be known as the Palace of Sleeping Beauty from then on. As years passed, the palace was covered with thorns and vines. No one could enter anymore. Many years passed. One day, as the prince was wandering around with his soldiers, he noticed the palace covered in vines.
There it is. This must be Sleeping Beauty's castle, the one my mom always told me about when I was younger. Look, it is completely covered with vines.
He took out his sword at once and started cutting down the vines. He fought his way through and made it to the door of the castle. When he entered, he was speechless by what he saw. The king and queen in their thrones and the people of the palace all sleeping in some place. They were all lying still. He started wandering through all the rooms of the palace, trying to find the princess.
I'm going to find you, beautiful princess. I'll save you. I will lift the curse.
The prince was frantic, running around trying to find the princess's room. Finally, he came across a magnificent door in the tower. He opened it slowly and found the incredibly beautiful princess asleep on a bed of flowers.
My goodness, how beautiful she is. It's as if she fell asleep yesterday. Her flowers still smell wonderful.
The prince couldn't bear to see the princess sleeping like an angel, so he gave her a kiss on the cheek. At that moment, the princess woke up. When she saw the handsome prince standing before her, she asked,
What happened? Am I still dreaming?
No, my princess, you aren't dreaming any longer. The curse has been broken. Please, give me your hand. Let me help you get up from this bed.
The princess gave her hand to the prince and got up. When the curse was broken, everyone woke up from their sleep. The king, queen, servants, cats, dogs, and flowers in the garden all came to life again. There was nothing left of the vines and thorns. The king and queen ran to their daughter's room in excitement.
Good heavens, what a beautiful day! I'm so happy. My daughter and the whole palace have awoken from their sleep.
They hugged joyfully. The prince promptly kneeled before the king.
My king, I would like to marry your daughter. With your permission, may I ask for a hand in marriage?
My dear prince, we are so very happy. I would be honored if you were my groom.
My dear princess, I've waited for this moment my whole life. Will you marry me?
Yes! You are the prince I have seen in my dreams.
They invited all the fairies and got married with a magnificent wedding. They lived happily ever after. And what happened to the wicked fairy? After she found out what was going to happen to her, she escaped to a faraway land. Once upon a time, there lived a family who had a daughter named Cinderella. They were a very happy family. However, once their kind-hearted mother suddenly passed away, their happiness came to an end. Cinderella's father married another woman soon after. The woman had 2 spoiled and spiteful daughters. They were just as unkind as their mother. They all came to live in the house. Cinderella now had 2 stepsisters and a stepmother. Everyone loved Cinderella, who was incredibly kind and beautiful. She had long blonde hair, ocean blue-colored eyes, and delicate feet and hands. She was a girl who enjoyed helping everyone around her, cooked delicious meals, loved plants, and protected animals. Out of jealousy, the stepsisters made sure to make Cinderella's life miserable. They made her do all the housework and used her as the housemaid. Her only friend was a tabby cat. When she finished her chores, she would take her cat on her lap, sit by the fireplace, and tell him about her misfortune. She always told him how much she missed her mother. That's why Cinderella was nicknamed Cindercat. Unfortunately, soon after, her father died too. The stepsisters and stepmother gave Cinderella a room in the attic.
You can't stay on the same floor as us. You're better suited up there. Please, let me and my cat get warmed up by the fireplace.
Only after we go to bed. The ashes of the fireplace should be enough for you. Your clothes are ripped and torn. We don't want to see you around. Poor Cinderella accepted her fate. Every night she would sit next to the fireplace and try to warm herself with the cinders left in it. One day, a soldier stopped by their home to invite all girls who were of age to marry to a ball at the palace.
Our king is to leave his throne to his son. The only condition is for him to marry a suitable girl. How many girls are there in this house who are of age?
Joyously, the mother presented her own 2 daughters.
I have 2 beautiful girls.
Then who is that girl that I see in the kitchen wiping the floors?
She's a housemaid. How could we bring her to the palace?
It doesn't matter. I must write her name down as well.
Even if you write her name down, it won't matter. She has no clothes or shoes to wear. Go ahead, write it down.
Cinderella begged her stepmother.
Please, give me one of my sister's dresses, so I can come too.
No, you will not go. You will clean the floors until we come back. Do you think the prince will choose you over my daughters, the Cindercat?
The 3 of them mocked Cinderella and chased her away. Finally, the day of the ball arrived.
Ooh!
All dressed up, they went to the ball and left Cinderella behind. Cinderella cried hopelessly. Right at that moment, a glowing fairy appeared before Cinderella.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the ball.
Who are you?
I'm the good fairy who helps kind-hearted girls. Your mother has sent me here to help you. She is watching over you from above. Let's get to it. Find me a large pumpkin and 6 mice.
Cinderella did what the fairy asked of her right away. She brought the pumpkin, and the mice in her room, who were already her friends, came running to help. With the wand in her hand, the fairy turned the pumpkin into a fantastic carriage. 4 mice into white horses, 1 mouse into a coachman, and 1 into a footman. Finally, it was Cinderella's turn. The fairy touched her head with her wand and turned her into a wonderful princess.
Remember, don't stay past midnight. The spell will break after 12 o'clock. You must leave the ball before 12. Good luck!
Cinderella got in the carriage and went straight to the palace. As soon as she entered the ballroom, everyone stared at her and held their breath. They were curious to learn who she was. She must be a princess from another country. They asked themselves who else would arrive in such a magnificent carriage and wear exquisite jewels. The prince, who saw Cinderella, came up to her immediately.
My lady, will you dance with me?
With pleasure, His Royal Highness.
It was love at first sight. The prince danced with Cinderella all night. The king and queen also really liked Cinderella. This girl would suit us and our palace as well, She's noble and beautiful. We have found our bride." All the other girls at the ball, including the stepmother and stepsisters, were huffing and puffing with jealousy.
Where do you come from? Where do you live? What's your name?
Time passed by really quickly. Cinderella, who saw that it was almost 12 o'clock, left the prince unexpectedly and ran out of the palace. As she hurried down the palace stairs, she lost one of her glass shoes. But because she was in such a hurry, she left it behind, got in the carriage, and went home. At exactly midnight, everything turned into what it was before. The prince, who had run after Cinderella, was in complete shock. He hadn't been able to catch up to her, but he found her glass shoe on the stairs. When Cinderella came home, she was surprised at what she saw. The house was sparkling clean. There was even a hot soup brewing on the stove. The fairy had sorted this out too. When Cinderella went to her room, she was very sad.
But what now? I'll never be able to see the prince again.
Don't worry. Everything will be okay.
Meanwhile, the prince thought only about the beautiful girl who had run away from the ball.
I must find her. I will take no other as my queen. Tomorrow we will try this shoe on every girl's foot that attended the ball last night and across the city. If the shoe fits someone, then that girl will be my queen.
The next day, soldiers walked door to door and asked all the girls who had attended the ball to try on the glass shoe. Everyone wore the shoe with excitement, but it didn't fit anyone. Finally, it was time for Cinderella's home. Everyone was incredibly excited. The stepsisters spent hours massaging and creaming their feet in order to shorten them. And they locked Cinderella in the attic. Yet, the shoe didn't fit either of the sisters' feet.
Come on.
Just as the soldiers were about to leave, they heard a sound from upstairs. Cinderella had managed to catch their attention by knocking down a cupboard.
What's that sound? Who's upstairs?
The house cat. There's no one.
No cat can make such a noise. Don't lie. Let's go upstairs and have a look.
Immediately.
Huh?
They got Cinderella out of the locked room and asked her to try on the glass shoe.
Oh.
The shoe fit perfectly. Cinderella showed them the other pair. The soldiers knew that they had found the princess and ran to the palace to deliver the good news. The prince joyously arrived at Cinderella's house and recognized her right away.
Will you marry me and be my princess?
Having received the answer as yes, he took her to the palace. Cinderella told him about everything that had happened to her.
Everything was fine.
They got married with a wedding lasting 40 days and 40 nights. The first thing Cinderella did was to have her tabby cat brought to the palace. They lived happily ever after, and the good fairy looked over them at all times.
Hey guys! Subscribe to our channel KONDOSAN and watch the most popular fairy tales, cartoons, and nursery rhymes. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications.
KONDOSAN.
Once upon a time, there lived an old woman in the deepest part of a forest. But she wasn't happy at all because she was getting old. She always complained about it.
God, why? Why did I get old? Look at my face. It's all wrinkly And my hands. Everyone used to be amazed at how beautiful my hands were. Oh, I had a small waist. Now I'm hunched over, and I'm in constant pain. I would do anything to be young again.
The old woman kept repeating this.
I would do anything to be young again.
Suddenly, the sky turned dark and lightning struck. A witch appeared out of the lightning.
So you want to be young again?
Yes, I want it badly.
And would you do anything for it?
Yes, I'll do anything.
I will make you young again, but on one condition.
What? Let me do it right now.
I will give you back your youth, but you have to bring me a well-fed child every month in return.
The old woman was surprised by the odd request.
Okay, I'll do it.
The witch waved her magic wand and the old woman suddenly regained her youth. She was young and beautiful again, but now she was a witch too.
Don't forget your promise, or I will destroy you.
The witch disappeared. The sun came out and the old woman was thrilled with her new appearance. But then she started to ponder.
I'm in the middle of the forest. How am I going to attract children? No one ever comes by here. Let me think. How? Ah, I've got it!
She decided to make a house of cakes and sweets to attract children. She started preparations immediately. Before long, she built a house of cream on the roof, candy on the windows, and cake on the walls. So she started catching children. But after a while, children stopped coming around her house.
I haven't found any children this month. What am I going to do?
I came across 2 little children in the woods, ma'am. I managed to bring them to the front of the house. They're eating cakes and candies. Hurry up.
Well done. You did a great job.
The witch immediately ran outside and found the children eating.
Welcome, children.
We were very hungry, so we started eating all the sweets from your house. Please forgive us.
No worries. Bon appetit. If you don't have a place to stay, you can stay at my house.
Thank you so much. My name is Hansel, and this is my sister Gretel.
I was tired of being alone. Come on in. You must be cold. There's also hot chocolate inside.
Hansel and Gretel were delighted. The young woman showed them to their beds and gave them hot chocolate. They fell into a peaceful sleep.
Get up now! It's morning! The visit is over! Hansel, come here quickly! Get in that cage, quick!
What is happening? Why did you lock me up?
Hansel, I'm so scared. Stop whining. You're too skinny, Gretel. Quick to the kitchen. You will cook nutritious meals and then you and your brother will eat them.
Gretel agreed against her will. She went into the kitchen and started cooking. Hansel kept some of the food in his pockets to avoid gaining weight. Gretel also threw her food in the trash without letting the witch see this.
You're still so skinny. You'll eat more.
Days passed, and finally, the day the witch would come for the children had arrived.
It's time to send you to the Witch Queen. You'll cook well in the oven. In fact, wait! I'll cook you this time to surprise the Witch Queen. Gretel, throw more wood in the oven right away. Yes, ma'am.
Gretel looked in the oven, and the fire was ablaze. At that moment, she had an idea how to get rid of the witch.
Ma'am, the fire is about to go out, but the oven door is stuck, and I can't open it. I need your help. You incompetent girl! I'm coming!
The witch bent down and opened the oven.
The door's not stuck. You couldn't open it because you're too skinny and clumsy.
Then she bent over to check the fire. Meanwhile, Gretel staggered backwards and pushed the witch into the furnace with all her might.
Hansel, we're finally free. The witch won't come out anytime soon.
Dear sister, you're such a smart girl. You managed to save us.
We have to get out of here now, Hansel. But first, let's see what's in that room that she keeps locked.
When Hansel and Gretel entered the room, they found a chest full of jewels and gold.
Let's fill our pockets, Gretel, and take it to our father.
After putting some gold in their pockets, they took the witch's map and went home. One day, Hansel and Gretel went to town to buy seeds to plant. On their way back, Gretel saw a toy store.
Hansel, look at those beautiful toys.
They are so pretty.
Let's go inside and take a closer look.
So they entered the toy store.
Oh, it's a Pinocchio. And this must be Cinderella.
I would love to play with these nutcracker soldiers.
It looks empty inside. Is there no one in the shop?
There's a room in the back. The owner could be there.
When they entered the room, they met the old storekeeper.
Hello, children. Can you get me a glass of water?
Are you okay, sir?
I'm a little cold.
You look very sick. Is there no one looking after you?
No, there's no one. I'm too old and I don't have much time.
Let's find you a doctor right away.
A doctor cannot do anything for me, but I will do something for you.
For us?
You are good children, so I'll gift you a fairy tale book.
A fairy tale book? We love it!
But you have to use it very carefully.
Using the book? I thought we were going to read it.
The old toy maker explained that this wasn't a typical fairy tale like the others. Instead, it was a magic book.
Wow! You mean a magic fairy tale book?
This book draws the reader into a fairy tale world and makes him the hero of that adventure.
So this book is a gateway to the world of fairy tales, correct?
That's right. To get back, you must find the magic word hidden in the book and read it aloud. If you don't read the magic word before the sun goes down, you won't be able to come back from that fairy tale.
To be honest, I don't want to be stuck in a fairy tale forever.
The toy maker also gave Hansel and Gretel a small crystal ball.
Use this crystal ball if you get into trouble. It's magic. It'll work for you.
Thus, Hansel and Gretel took the book and left the old toy maker's store.
Wow! How about that? Being the hero in a fairy tale!
What if we can't find the magic word and read it before sundown?
There's only one way to find out.
What if the toy maker just played a prank on us?
Let's open the book and take a look, Gretel. Blackbeard the pirate!
When Hansel and Gretel read the name of the fairy tale, they were suddenly transported elsewhere.
Wow! Where are we?
The land of pirates! It must be that one-eyed Blackbeard!
I guess. Let's be careful.
Just then, they heard a voice.
Get me out of here! Let me go! Help!
Did you hear that?
Yes! Someone is asking for help!
The sound is coming from the ship.
Let's go see!
What about the pirates? They can catch us.
But someone needs help!
Thus, they managed to get on the ship without being seen by the pirates.
Help! Can you hear me?
The sound is coming from downstairs.
A pirate! Hide quickly!
Hey, where are you? You just asked for help? Look at that chest. I wonder what's in it.
Gold! So much gold!
That chest is Blackbeard's treasure.
Hey! Who are you? Where are you?
I'm here.
So it was you who asked for help?
My name is Jack. Blackbeard will sell me to bird collectors. I don't want to live in a cage forever. Please save me. Save me.
Sure, we can help. But where did Blackbeard find you?
Jack said the pirates had captured him on a tropical island where he lived.
I want to be free and go back home.
We'll save you, don't worry.
It's locked! Where's the key?
Unfortunately, Blackbeard has the key.
Okay, we'll have to take you with the cage then.
How are we going to do this? The pirates will see us.
I have a plan.
You look like a real pirate.
Let's go! Be careful, Gretel.
So Hansel and Gretel managed to get off the ship without the pirates noticing. However, at that moment...
Oh, no!
Oops!
They saw us! Run! Run that way!
No, they will find us.
Shh! Be quiet, Gretel!
didn't find us, but they took Jack. What are we going to do?
We won't give up. We promised we'd save him.
But how do we get back on the ship? What if the pirates are still looking for us?
I don't know. We have to find a way.
Remember, we'll be trapped here if we don't read the magic word before sundown.
We still have time. I think this might work for us now.
Let's see if our friends can get back on the ship and save Jack the parrot from Blackbeard. Children, you can find out when you watch the next story, The Forest Witch.
Kondosan.
Once upon a time, Mother Goat and her 7 little goats lived happily in a seacoast town with lush vegetation. The 7 little goats walked to school happily every morning.
Last day of school, finally! Everyone's getting report cards today, and a great summer vacation awaits.
Hooray! We got our report cards! Let the holidays begin!
They rushed through the garden gate and banged on the door all together. When Mother Goat opened the door, the little goats who were leaning on the door fell with a big thud.
Looky, looky, who's here? My little goats. We've got our report cards, Mom. We all wanted to be first to show it to you.
Look at mine first! No, mine first!
Since you're officially on vacation, I'll cook your favorite meal to celebrate.
Yay!
Tell me, what do you want for dinner?
Pizza! Pizza! Pizza!
Okay. Pizza it is then. Come on, let's make it together.
Yay!
They made a delicious giant pizza together, adding many ingredients. They put it in the oven. When the pizza was ready, it smelled so good. The little goats ate it all.
I have a surprise for you, kids. I love surprises. I booked a vacation for all of us. A vacation?
Where?
I decided to take you to London this summer.
Yay! We're going to London!
After brushing their teeth, they gathered in the living room and started getting information on London.
Whoa, this city is almost 2,000 years old.
This city is like an open-air museum.
A very long river also runs through it. Oh, look what I found.
What did you find?
I think the cars in England are broken. Why do you say so? Look, the steering wheels are on the wrong side.
In England, the traffic runs on the other side of the road, which is different from many other countries. I want to go now. Let's go to bed early tonight. We'll get everything ready tomorrow. Then, a great vacation awaits us.
They went to purchase train tickets first. It was very crowded at the travel agency.
Mommy, is it okay if I wait outside? It's so crowded in there.
All right, darling, you wait here. Don't talk to strangers. I'll be back soon.
Mother Goat was unaware of two prying eyes as she entered the travel agency. The bad wolf was after them as always.
Hello, little goat. What are you doing here all alone?
I'm not alone. My mom is inside. I'm waiting for her.
Is that so? You're such a good boy. I wish every child could be more like you.
The little goat trusted the bad wolf's sweet talk and friendliness.
Thanks. But my mom told me not to talk to strangers.
I'm an old friend of your mother's. I was passing by and I thought I should greet her, but it seems she's busy. So I decided to say hi to you instead.
I should let Mom know.
No, let's not disturb her. Tell me, what are you doing here?
We're going on vacation tomorrow. We're getting things ready for it.
Very nice. Where are you going?
London.
So you're going to London. I see. I've always wanted to visit that city.
So have I.
Just then, the bad wolf and Mother Goat locked eyes. Mother Goat realized what was happening and ran to the little goat.
Oh, well, I have to go now. Bye-bye. So close. I almost made it.
He then got a brilliant idea. He thought he could have the same opportunity in London.
Of course. How could I not think of this sooner?
The next day, Mother Goat and the 7 little goats got on the train. The bad wolf was right behind them in disguise. Wearing a huge hat. The hat was so big that it got stuck in the doors. Such a scene made everyone look at him.
Why is everyone looking at me? I'll never know.
The wolf sat in a seat with difficulty because of his hat. The little goats enjoyed the train trip. As they watched the scenery and played table games.
The train stopped! We're in London! Yay!
They went to their hotel and left their luggage. The bad wolf was stalking them. He intended to snatch one of the little goats whenever he got a chance.
Let's visit the Big Ben first, Mom. It's a big clock tower.
Then let's go to the world's largest Ferris wheel.
But watch out for the opposite traffic. We wouldn't want to have an accident.
They went to Big Ben.
How tall? Its gong weighs 13 tons.
Wow!
Their next stop was the magnificent palace where the Queen lives.
Mom! Look! The Queen is waving at us
lucky to see Your Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Her crown is so big!
They had so much fun together. At Hyde Park, they enjoyed the lush vegetation and watching the playful squirrels. They ate lunch by the lake, played ball together, and lay down on the grass.
All right, it's time for London Eye, the big Ferris wheel. If you're all ready, let's go.
We're ready!
Mother Goat sensed something was wrong. Then she noticed the youngest goat was missing.
Kids, where's your brother?
Here.
Give him back to me, Bad Wolf.
Come and get him if you can.
He's running towards the Ferris wheel. I learned of a shortcut I found on the internet. Follow me.
They took the shortcut and caught up to the wolf right under the Ferris wheel. Mother Goat and the little goats surrounded the bad wolf. Wolf couldn't find a way out, so he jumped on the Ferris wheel.
You'll never catch me.
Mother Goat stopped the Ferris wheel when the wolf's capsule reached the very top. The other goat started to climb upward.
Let's give him a good shake to frighten him.
Help! Save me! I hate it! I hate it that it's swaying!
Wolf was so afraid that he let go of the little goat and held onto the structure tightly.
Please, stop! I am so sorry!
You can't get away that easily, Bad Wolf. You'll pay for what you did first.
The bad wolf couldn't take it anymore and jumped into the River Thames. The river police on duty took him away.
We should learn a lesson from this, my darlings. With bad people like Wolf around, we always have to be careful.
You're right, Mommy!
Mother Goat and the little goats forgot about this incident and went everywhere in London. They took a lot of pictures and had a wonderful vacation. Then they returned to their farm with great memories. Once upon a time, Mother Goat and her 7 little goats lived happily in a small village. Their mother always told them to stay away from the bad wolf. The little goats were always together. They looked after one another so that Wolf couldn't get close to them. When they got back from school, they would do their homework, play games, and always make sure that they read books before sleep. One day they returned home from school happily. They sat down at the table and munched on the cookies that Mother Goat had baked for them with love.
Tell me, how was your day?
We learned about ancient Egypt in history class today.
Very nice. I've read books about ancient Egypt. It's one of the oldest civilizations. I've always been interested in the subject.
Mom, do you think the pharaohs were bad people?
Why do you ask?
Well, I thought they were because of what our teacher told us.
Mom, what does pharaoh mean?
The pharaohs were heads of state and also the highest priests in Egypt thousands of years ago.
Mother Goat got up from her chair, went to the bookshelf and returned with a book. She sat down again and began leafing through it.
There, I found it. Let's see who the pharaohs were. The first pharaoh lived approximately 3,000 years ago. The pharaonic system was passed on from father to son. The pharaohs didn't treat their people well. They were very poor, so the Great Pyramids were just big tombs of powerful pharaohs. A lot of mysteries still surround the pyramids. For instance, some of the pharaohs wore weird-looking masks.
Why did they set traps inside the pyramids?
Because they didn't want the commoners to enter them.
How about the masks?
They had several, such as cat, eagle, dog, wolf.
Wolf? That means wolves have been bad ever since?
The life of ancient people was so hard.
True, but just think about living in that time. How exciting!
Imagine exploring a pyramid full of mazes.
What an adventure!
Let's not forget about Bad Wolf. Imagine him with us.
You say that now, but if this happened, all of you would be looking for places to hide.
When it was time for bed, the little goats fell asleep right away. They all dreamed about things they had read. Just then, the room lit up. The light was coming from outside, and it was so bright that it woke the little goats.
What's going on?
What's that light? Oof, my eyes.
The little goats opened the window to find out where the light was coming from. They saw a huge round object resembling a UFO. It was so bright that it was blinding.
What is this?
It looks like a spaceship.
I'm scared.
Just then, the light of the luminous object died down and a gate opened. A very old owl appeared at the door.
Guys, come here!
Who's this?
I don't know, but I think he needs help.
The little goats approached the old owl hesitantly.
Come with me, quick. We need your help.
Who are you? Why do you need our help?
I come from afar. You must help us.
Is this a spaceship?
No, it's a time machine. I'm coming from thousands of years back. I'm here to take you back in time. Only you can save us from the bad pharaoh.
Us? What can we even do?
You defeated the bad wolf here. Surely you can do the same for us there.
The little goats looked at one another. They didn't know what to do. The old owl looked helpless, so they felt pity for him.
We have to help him.
You are right. Come on, guys.
The little goats entered the time machine. The machine began to light up again and disappeared. The 7 little goats found themselves in the desert.
Where are we? Where did you bring us?
Look at those huge monuments over there.
Pyramids.
All right, kids. We're in Egypt. In ancient Egypt.
What's going to happen now?
The pyramid you see is now being built by Pharaoh Tutankhamun. He's focused on building the world's greatest pyramid that he has ignored his people's suffering.
I'm sorry to hear that.
People are starving, and they're enduring poverty and diseases. Someone has to put an end to this. The Pharaoh has lost his mind. It's best to drive him away from the country.
We have to plan something now.
The little goats huddled and whispered. The old owl was curious and wanted to know what they were talking about.
Everybody understood their part?
Yes, it'll be just like in those books we read.
We need lots of bandages.
Good thing I brought my music player and speaker with me.
Once Old Owl brought them the materials they needed, they headed to Tutankhamun's palace. Outside the palace, one little goat climbed on top of another's shoulders while the other ones wrapped them in bandages.
Such a great mommy!
Is the voice clip ready?
Everything's ready.
Let's begin then. Put on your masks.
All the little goats wore the masks Old Owl brought. Those masks belonged to Tutankhamun's ancestors. They entered the palace with masks on. The guards scurried away in fear. The Pharaoh's throne hall door opened, and a voice was heard coming from inside.
What's that noise? What's going on? Who dares to disturb me?
The Pharaoh came out. The little goats were surprised to see the Pharaoh's resemblance to that of the bad wolf. It was as if they were both one.
It's your turn now.
The 2 little goats that had been bandaged together like a mummy began to wobble toward the Pharaoh, making weird noises.
Who are you? Guys, help!
One of the little goats pressed the music player's button, and then a voice resembling that of the Pharaoh's father could be heard. The Pharaoh didn't know what to do and was so scared.
Is this what I taught you, son? I always advised no to be arrogant, but you always did the exact opposite.
Dad, but this is impossible.
Be quiet.
Dad, please forgive me. I'll never defy you ever again.
What did you say, old owl? Should I forgive my son?
You can give him one more chance, sir.
Then you are forgiven. But if I hear any complaints ever again, I'll come and take you with me.
Don't worry, Dad. You can trust me.
Owl, you will keep an eye on my son, and if he ever strays again, you'll let me know. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The mummy of the little goats wobbled back the way it came and disappeared behind the door.
Your plan was perfect, kids. Thank you so much. Come on, enter the time machine so that I can take you back.
The little goats entered the time machine. Everything was dark, and then it lit up again. The little goats found themselves in their beds. They looked at one another. The window they had opened earlier was closed. It was as if they had never left their room.
Was it all real?
Or did we all have the same dream?
I don't know what happened, but I think we did a great job.
Once upon a time, 7 little goats and their mother lived happily in a sunny little town. The 7 little goats walked merrily to school every day. One day, their teacher talked to the students about famous structures built by the Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí.
Teacher, what does architect mean?
An architect is a person that sketches the blueprints of the buildings we see around, such as houses, schools, and hospitals. They follow some construction rules and make sure the buildings are safe. Kids, did you know that Gaudí used nature as inspiration for his buildings? He designed the interior walls of buildings resembling tree bark and spiral stairs that's similar to that of a snail shell.
Teacher, I'm curious about these buildings. Where can I find them?
These buildings are in Barcelona, in Spain.
After school, the little goats returned home and their mother greeted each one with a kiss. One of the little goats shared what they had learnt about the Spanish architect.
Mom, can we go to Barcelona?
All right, kids. Let's all go on a weekend trip.
Yay!
The 7 little goats were so excited about their trip that they couldn't stop talking about it everywhere. All the townspeople, as well as the wolf, heard about the little goat's trip to Barcelona. They set out for Barcelona on the weekend. After the car trip, they left their luggage in their hotel room. Mother Goat gathered the little goats around her.
Our first stop is Architect Gaudí's Park Güell. Let's go!
As the little goats followed their mum, the last one walking in line thought he had seen the wolf in the hotel lobby. When they arrived at Parkwell, they visited the buildings that seemed to be made of sugar and cookies. They strolled happily in the terrace that resembled ocean waves made of colourful glass and tiles. While the happy goats roamed around excitedly, the wolf in disguise offered an apple from his basket to one of the little goats. The little goat, however, recognized Wolf's hands and ran to his mother. The wolf knew then that he couldn't easily fool the little goat.
Mom! Mom! There's someone over there!
Where, sweetie?
Oh, he's gone. That's weird. Never mind, Mom.
The next stop was artist Salvador Dali's house, which had been turned into a museum. One of the little goats noticed an artist among the crowd painting in the corner and thought it was the wolf. Wolf took advantage of the crowd and tried to put the little goat into his satchel.
You bad wolf! Take that!
The bad wolf once again had failed, so he ran away.
This wolf doesn't give up. Let's be careful and not get separated.
Yeah, he even grew a mustache, thinking we wouldn't be able to recognize him.
Where are you, kids? Don't go far. Remember, evil wolves can be anywhere.
There's nothing to be scared of, Mom. We took care of it.
Let's go inside and view the artworks. Tonight, we're going to see a flamenco show. We shouldn't be late to the hotel.
After the museum, Mother Goat and the little goats returned to the hotel and got ready to see the show.
What kind of a dance is flamenco?
Dancers try to express their emotions through the tapping of their feet, intricate hands, and body movements.
They wear special costumes.
Yes, colorful dresses, but mostly red.
I'm curious.
We'll see them tonight.
Come on, let's hurry.
In the evening, the little goats went to see the show, not knowing that Wolf would be there too. When the show was about to start, the youngest goat suspected one of the dancers was Wolf himself.
Mom, look!
Shh! Be quiet, the show has started.
Mother Goat didn't recognize Wolf and watched the show delightedly. The youngest goat went backstage to expose Wolf. One of the little goats saw his brother leave, so he followed him. While dancing, Wolf watched the little goat's every move. So when he saw him enter the backstage, he exited the stage, still dancing. Wolf caught the goat and quickly put him in his satchel. As he was about to escape, he ran into the second little goat, who followed his siblings.
I know who you are.
Oh, do you now? Then tell me who I am.
You are the bad wolf. Let go, my siblings.
No way. You'll have to catch me first.
At that moment, Wolf got back on the stage. The little goat, who was trying to blend in with the dancers, spotted his mother and siblings among the spectators. Mother Goat was engrossed in the show, but got surprised when she saw the little goat dancing on the stage.
Oh no! What's your brother doing on the stage? Yeah, that's our brother!
And the one dancing and holding the satchel is the bad wolf.
At that moment, the rhythm changed to a quicker pace. With a big thud, Wolf tripped and fell down in the middle of the stage. His wig fell off his head. The little goat got out of the satchel that the wolf had dropped. Mother Goat stood up in a state of nerves.
It's Bad Wolf! Get him!
Mother Goat and the little goats ran onto the stage and began to headbutt Wolf.
My back, my feet.
Bad Wolf escaped again. Let's try to forget about this incident. It's been a tiring day. Let's go to bed. Good morning, kids! Guess where we're going today? Where, Mommy? Where? To the statue of Christopher Columbus.
Who is that, Mommy?
I'll tell you about him once we get there. Christopher Columbus was an Italian sailor, explorer, and colonizer. He crossed the Atlantic Ocean sailing on his ship and discovered new places. The American continent is one of them. How interesting!
What an adventure!
I'd like to explore new places too.
Meanwhile, Wolf was in a Christopher Columbus disguise. None of the goats recognized him. Wolf hadn't given up and was still after them. He approached the three little goats walking in the back and distracted them by talking about ships and the ocean.
Come, I'll show you my ship.
Yay!
Excited, the little goats followed Wolf. Wolf boarded the ship with the little goats. He removed his hat and wig and made himself known to the little goats.
We will set sail and you cannot escape now.
Ha! Think again, Bad Wolf. Come on, guys, jump!
The little goats jumped and caught the sail. The mainsail spun in its place and around the mast due to the goat's weight and pushed Wolf into the sea.
You beat me again, but I'll never give up. Mommy! Help! They made me board the ship, officer. I'm innocent. I swear. I hate getting wet.
We watched everything from the surveillance cameras, Bad Wolf. We know you're lying.
I'm so sorry. Please let me go. I won't do that again.
Forget it. You'll get your punishment first. For 2 months, you'll be picking garbage on the shore.
No! I hate getting wet.
Hey guys! Subscribe to our channel KONDOSAN and watch the most popular fairy tales, cartoons, and nursery rhymes. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications.